Of the 842 Black 5s constructed, just 35 were built at Derby. 44800 was one of these, acting as station pilot on the 6th of October 1966. (78018) and 78060 were en route to the sheds after bringing in a ballast train to Codenhill Yards from Nantmar Quarry. The loco shed at Coleham was on the site of the Shrewsbury and Hereford Railway's original shed, alongside their line south of the town. It was joint Great Western and LMS, the latter installing a 70-foot turntable which here resembles a circular swimming pool. Locomotives often turned on the triangles south of the platforms before going to the depot. This is 45593 Colapore using the facility after bringing in a Paddington train from Chester, again on the 6th of October 1966. A Brush Type 4 brings in the down Cambrian Coast Express, a BR Wolverton-built sleeping car behind it. It was not in use apparently. Station pilot 41209, or the Bunter as it was locally known, was on hand to split the train for onward departure to Aberystwyth. 41209 was pure LMS, being built in 1946 in the first batch of 10. The other 120 in the class were built under BR auspices. Backing round from Abbey Foregate is 7803 Barcote Manor. Her cleanliness befits her appearance on the Cambrian Coast Express, on which she was a regular performer in the early 1960s. She is unique in her class at this time, being fitted with a 3,500-gallon intermediate tender, which is slightly larger than the normal variety. The flared top begins level with the footplate handrail and suits the manor very well. By the 26th of August 1965, standards had dropped dramatically for the manors. Barcote was withdrawn in the April, and 7821 Ditchink Manor is in deplorable external condition as she backs into number 1 bay to pick up an extra coach to attach to the down Cambrian Coast Express. She was withdrawn in November, but went to Woodhams of Barry and eventual preservation. Fairburn 264 tank 42104 pulls in with empty stock for a Chester service. Shrewsbury's 73036 enters number 4 platform, which was once number 5 and 6 and is bi-directional. A cautious approach is required as it is already occupied by a Swindon-built cross-country DMU on a Hereford service. In late 1964, Shrewsbury started to get the standard class 4s to replace withdrawn Manners. 75016 arrived in June 1965 from Nuneaton and is heading for Coleham Shed with empty ash wagons on the 19th of January 1967. Arriving at 12:44 is the Up Cambrian Coast Express behind 75029, the first of the class to get a double chimney. As steam haulage on the Cambrian came to a close, these engines were clocking up a particularly high mileage between Shrewsbury and Aberystwyth. Leaving on the 4:10 a.m. mail, return on the Up Cambrian, down on the Cambrian, and back on the 6:05 p.m. mail, a daily total of 330 miles. The Up Cambrian Coast Express now departs for Paddington behind D1640, later to become 47809 and named Finsbury Park. The down train arrives behind D1615, just over 2 years old at this time. Coming back from the shed, 75029 returns to work down to Aberystwyth, but will depart 15 minutes behind time today at 2:45 due to a late connection from the north. First she collects a parcels van from Bay Platform number 5. In March 1967 she was transferred away to Wrexham and Stoke for 5 months more work. Found to be in good condition, she was bought by artist David Shepherd and is today known as the Green Knight. Passing the imposing 180-litre 7-bridge junction box built in 1901 by the London and North Western Railway is 92089 on a down freight. Birkenhead's 92112 was an occasional visitor to Shrewsbury, signalled round to Abbey Foregate and the Wellington line. 9Fs only appeared towards the end of steam. 45050 runs through the station to work a Paddington to Birkenhead train forward to Chester. At the north end of the station, the original Shrewsbury and Chester Railway's engine house of 3 roads can be seen. 45050 backs into platform 3, ready to leave for Chester. The pickup freight seen earlier at Wellington now arrives on the through line between platforms 3 and 4. destined for Coton Hill Yards behind 44775. After doing some shunting in the yard, it will head back tender first on a short freight in the Wellington direction. Castle Foregate goods shed for a background, 48757 crosses Crewe Junction at the north end of the station. Chester's 48754 light engine to Coton Hill Yards. The train from Chester arrives over Crewe Junction. At this spot, on the 15th of October 1907, the 1:20 a.m. mail train from Crewe crashed at 60 miles per hour, killing 12 passengers, 2 guards, 3 post office workers and the engine crew. 31 others were injured. The downed Cambrian Coast Express departs behind 75014 on the 6th of October 1966. She was withdrawn in December, but survived into preservation via Woodhams of Barry, and was past the main line running in the 1990s. (75033) was worked intensively in the last month of steam haulage on the Cambrian lines to Aberystwyth. She attaches a parcels van to the downed Cambrian Coast Express on the 23rd of February 1967 and was destined to work the last up steam-hauled Cambrian Coast Express on the 4th of March. A grimy 75021 passes Sutton Bridge Junction signal box on the 2nd of March 1967 and takes the Aberystwyth line south of Shrewsbury.